Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As noted, we actually have bipartisan agreement on the importance of this issue, and those are rare agreements these days, so really grateful for this hearing. Here's the Republican summary view. The National Emergencies Act is a principal framework, of course, through which the President exercises emergency authority. As noted, passed by Congress in 1976, the NEA was intended to rein in the President's use of emergency authority through various procedural requirements. But here's the thing that we all know, and I suspect there'll be broad agreement here today on this point, that the law has some shortcomings, let's put it that way. As we all know, the President can only act in our system, in our constitutional government, he can only act with the authority vested in him by the Constitution or specifically by Congress. The problem here is that Congress has been proven quite adept at delegating authority to the President over the years. And when Congress last accounted for emergency authorities delegated to the President in 1973, it found that more than 470 of such delegations had been given. In a report documenting these authorities, the Senate Special Committee on the Termination of National Emergency remarked that Congress had, quote, conferred enough authority to rule the country without reference to normal constitutional process, unquote. It's kind of an ominous summary there. Today, there are approximately 115 to 140 such delegations in effect, although as the chairman said, it's difficult to count them sometimes, and it depends upon the source that you consult. Regardless of which number is correct, the presidents have proven to be proficient at declaring emergencies. There are currently more than 30 national emergencies in effect right now as we speak, with the oldest dating back to President Jimmy Carter. National emergencies are commonly renewed by the President, and the Congress rarely passes the joint resolution necessary to terminate them. So, although the NEA was intended to end perpetual states of emergency, it has actually resulted in presidents freely renewing emergencies, sometimes for decades. Of course, that seems to defy the common sense and the common definition of emergency, right? The NEA has proven to be an ineffective check on the President, and Congress has surrendered its authority to the executive branch for too long. We can't even say it was a usurpation of authority because Congress willingly gave it up. Article 1 of the Constitution vests all legislative authority in the Congress, and we are obliged to consider how to use that authority to more effectively control the President's use of emergency declarations. The way that political issues are framed today as existential threats incentivizes presidents to stretch the bounds of their emergency authority to accomplish policy goals and sometimes partisan goals that cannot pass the Congress. This is no way for our government to function. And in a moment when so many of our institutions are being imperiled and the people are losing faith in them, I think this is something meaningful that we could work on together and try to fix. Devil's in the details, of course, but that's why we're all here today. So I look forward to hearing from our witnesses, and I yield back.